Hi guys, another one from my kitchen. I'm getting on a roll with these kitchen style videos, and this one is basically me just making my breakfasty slash lunch because it's now 11:45 because I've been doing this with you instead and it's getting late. So I've got all my array of things out ready to show you what I do. Yesterday I was not at the house very much at all and I didn't have very much fruit, so I'm having a really fruity breakfast this morning. Okay, so I've already poured in my homemade vegan milk, which is a nut and seed milk, which I did in the last video to do with drinks, if you want to see how I did that. And that just gets going any other nuts and seeds that I want to sprinkle in. It starts rehydrating them up. So that's sunflower seeds. I have hardly any nuts left, so I'm going to sprinkle those in the bottom. They can start rehydrating. The last few walnuts. Got these as a Christmas present. Thank you, Sarah! These are goji berries, and they're kind of a little bit firmer than a raisin or a sultana. They're really chewy, really high in antioxidants, really good for you. A little bit on the expensive side, that's why we don't buy them all the time. So I'm sprinkling those in. I also am getting in quite a few raisins because they're also quite high in iron. So popping those in for the chewy factor. And now I've got some seeds. So these are, I've got all my words in French. Those ones, what are they called again? You tell me. The green flat ones. I've got some sesame seeds, which sometimes I actually blend up. So sometimes my fruity breakfast might have the sesame seeds blended up with banana, and that could be my base. And then I put in, I always have some chopped chewable fruit in there too. Now for some good healthy fats. I've got some organic desiccated coconut without any extra added nasties in. I love this stuff. So it kind of makes it a bit more chewy and a bit more substantial. Then the other seeds that I put in are omega-6. So I like to balance out my omega-6 and my omega-3s. So this is a powdered up ground flaxseed, which doesn't have the most wonderful flavour, it's got to be said. But if you have it in a whole seed, it's very hard to digest and you're not really taking in much of the goodness. So it's really good to blend it up. And it does a bit like a chia seed, it kind of coagulates very easily. So I'll put some of that in too. And I usually just leave it to one edge, and then I can have it when I feel like it, rather than putting it in the whole meal, like sprinkled everywhere. Usually I like to get it over and done with at the beginning, just get it down me, and then I can have the rest. I've got black chia seeds here, and they're really good for digestion and getting things to pass through your body more easily. They're also really good at taking out of your system, heavy metals. Lots of amazing benefits. So I sprinkle those liberally. So I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons in, and that will start to thicken up the liquid that's underneath, and you kind of have to mix it in because that really does thicken and take in, I think, about 200% of its own size or weight of liquid. You can see it almost looks a bit like frog spawn when it's done its thing, and it's got this little sac all the way around it of juice. So I also like, as much as possible, where's my knife, to put in a little bit of zinc, which for me comes from fresh ginger. I love ginger, can't get enough of it. I don't make it overly strong, just like a nice amount in my food. And I slice it up finely and sprinkle that on top. Yummy, yummy. Bit of vitamin C. to help take in the iron and various other goodnesses that are in my meal. So you don't need to watch me peel that. So then I would just chop that up. If it's got seeds in, I'll take the seeds out and pop that into my food. It's a nice juicy addition. And then I've got 2 apples and a pear, which I'm going to cut up into kind of dice-sized pieces and pop them on top. Back again. So ended up being a bit too much to add in the other apple, so I'll probably have that later as a snack. Something else that I do sometimes, I absolutely love cardamom. So I've put 4 in the pestle and mortar, and I'm going to take out the centre and remove the skins and just get out what's in the middle, and then grind it up until it's a fine powder, and then I'll sprinkle it on top of my food, and that gives just a really lovely, deep, sophisticated flavour, darling. Love it. So once I've done that, I will also add in a little bit of fleur d'oranger, and I just pour it into the cap and sprinkle it on top. Don't need very much because it's pretty strong. And bought some of this the other day. Don't do this very often, but we've got some organic soy yogurt. It's got a nice delicate flavour. It's not too strong. A little bit of that on the side. It's nearly ready to eat. Can't wait. So instead of cardamom, if it was summer, I might go out into my garden and get some fresh mint and chop that up into small pieces, or rip it by hand and put that onto my breakfast, because that's a lovely fresh green flavour. I don't have that at the moment, so I don't have any choice. So this is what my dish looks like. You can see my flaxseed on the side here, my fruit, less liquid now because my chia has soaked it up. Yeah. Bon appétit, everyone. Enjoy!